not only we care about the selective waste, but about biodiversity and gardening. And we have special programs, creative workshops, for example.
You are not focusing on disciplines. You are focusing on a subject, on a topic, and you integrate all the disciplines which are required to understand that topic. But at the same time, transdisciplinarity involves the society.
ELTE Walk. Everything you need to know about ELTE. Welcome to the ELTE Walk podcast, a program of the ELTE International Strategy Office, which has been created to present everything you need to know about Eötvös Loránd University as a prospective, current and international student. I am Tamás Jamriskó, editor-in-chief at the First University Radio of Pest, which produces this program in cooperation with the International Strategy Office of ELTE. My co-host is Raissa Negrao, a student in the doctoral program in psychology at ELTE and international student ambassador.
Our guests on our 10th episode are Viktória Mudra, Sustainability Coordinator, and Ádám Tóth, Assistant Professor in Hydrogeology, who will discuss how a university and ELTE can be environmentally conscious and sustainable.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for the invitation to the podcast. My name is Viktória Mudra, and I'm the Sustainability Coordinator at ELTE and the Program Manager of ELTE EKS, meaning ELTE Together for Environmental Consciousness.
Hi, welcome. So my name is Ádám, or you can call me Ádám in Hungarian. I work at the Faculty of Sciences here at ELTE University, and I also work at the CHARM EU University Alliance, which will be a topic for the discussion today.
I think that in the era of climate change, it's of utmost importance for a university to be sustainable and environmentally friendly, as it's already educating the future generation and can also set an example for society. So let's start at the beginning. How can a university be more environmentally aware?
As a sustainability coordinator, I see many possibilities for a university to be environmentally conscious. The two main directions that a university can be institutionally aware of environmental awareness or individually, meaning the university citizens can be very conscious about sustainability. Neither is effective without the other. Both parts are very important. For example, if the university lecturers and students were to collect selectively, but there is no system for it, or there is a built-in system for composting, but the university citizens do not use it, the goal cannot be reached in the same way. Both parts are very important, and there are several sub-areas in which a university can be very conscious. For example, energy, waste management, water management, transport, public procurement, catering or events, infrastructural features, biodiversity, education and research, operational and communication systems. And in these areas just listed, it is therefore possible to be more sustainable both institutionally and individually. So there are sub-areas and participants. So this is a lot.
Let me ask you a simple question. Why is sustainability important, and important especially for the ELTE? Of course, we have many issues, and of course the environment is important, but why it is important on the daily basis and for our university?
With my experiences, and from my point of view, I can list three main reasons. The first, and for me, it is the most important, because we have already put a lot of strain on our environment. So let's do less. Let's have a little footprint, ecological footprint, or less ecological footprint. So this is the main. But with sustainability, you can save a lot of money. And mostly these days, it is very important for the university. Of
course, also practical.
Yes, and the rankings, international rankings, sustainability rankings, it's very important to show in operational systems to have measurable system that a university can show, look at what we have, what we can share, what we can teach to our students, and they can use it, the systems or the know-hows in their lives.
And what are your experiences? And this aim and mission can be some kind of a special, unique selling point in a good way to the international students here in ELTE. For example, they are choosing this university because it's kind of environmental friendly.
I think for international students it's a very important point of view. It should be promoted much more, I think. But the first reason is it is not because a university is sustainable. I think this is not the most important criteria yet.
And if somebody is interested in this sustainability and just about the recycling and stuff like that, how can they get information? And just a short, let me add the short information. We will attach all of the important information and links and stuff like that into our podcast's show notes. So if you just mention simple pages and stuff like that, both of you. So how can we get information about the university's sustainability and other kind of environmental things?
Our program has an own website, Facebook page, Instagram page, and we have a YouTube channel too. So these are the platforms. But we do meet international students and other Hungarian students at the beginning of the school year, the student academic year, and from time to time we put advertisements on platforms that we would like to not to hire, because we work with volunteers, but we are waiting for volunteers, sustainability volunteers. Yes,
yeah, that's pretty nice.
Yes, you mentioned the rankings that is very important for a university to be sustainable. And could you talk a little bit more about the policies behind this, the policy on sustainability?
Yes, I have mentioned these sub-areas. These are the areas that are measured every year. Right now, this is the Times higher education ranking that is available, and the UY Green metric. And we have the standards for the moment. We should do, ELTE Eötvös Loránd University should do more, but we managed to keep a certain place in these rankings. In Hungary, we are third and fourth in universities' lists.
You mentioned before, for example, if I want to collecting the garbage separately, if I want to do that, but the university is not providing the equipment and stuff like that, that's also a problem. And what kind of specific programs we have in this university?
In this program, ELTE LKS, we have organized a selective waste collection, meaning not only the selective collection, but zero waste program and environmentally conscious litter removal, meaning, for example, chairs or tables or computers, and we deconstruct all these items, computers, chairs, tables, everything. So everything goes to special companies.
That's a huge program, just to organize all of these 9 faculties, this whole university. And how do you carry out these activities? What is the management behind it? Because I think it's a lot of work.
It's a huge work, yes. So we have these sustainability working groups. These working groups deconstruct all this stuff in little groups. 3-4 people can do a lot of work, and we deconstruct 450 tons of waste every year. Right now we are working on this faculty and at Lágymányos faculty too. Let's say 400 cubic meters of waste. So
that's also very huge.
Yes. So and it's me who organizes the transport with the special companies, and we recycle everything, but literally everything.
I have never heard about it, and I'm a student here for a few years, so I'm really intrigued on if this recycling that you do is only with equipment from the university, or the students, I don't know, can also bring their things to recycle, their personal belongings.
Mostly the waste of the university.
Okay.
Later, maybe we will organize some campaigns about electric waste, but it's again a huge campaign. So and a lot of stuff, and the university has a lot of things to throw away. So it's already a lot. I was talking about the program, but not only we care about the selective waste, but about biodiversity and gardening, for example. And we have special programs, workshops, creative workshops, for example, and exhibitions we organize. I mean, before COVID, we have organized.
Yeah, that's natural.
And now we would like to reach again the scale we had before, and we have much less volunteers. So it would be very good to reach up. Before we had 200 volunteers. Now we have 50, 60 students. And some workers, some citizens.
That's also pretty nice. Let me ask you a personal question. Why is all the sustainability, the environment, and this work is important for you personally?
I have always wanted to do that. But then I became a Hungarian teacher. So as a volunteer, I do it. Myself, I am a volunteer for the university. So I don't know. Since I remember, I wanted to do something for the environment, and every day I take care about that for years.
Which part do you enjoy the most in your work?
When, for example, the waste is taken, or the garden is done, or when we see hedgehogs lurking around in the garden, or we have a bird protection program, so when they have the little birds, so these kind of results. And a very good part is to be with the volunteers. That's great. That's something very special.
Yeah, that's lovely.
I would like to ask something. I'm thinking about the perspective of a user and of a student here. I know that also in the district, they also have these waste days and for electronics and etc. And bringing to a larger scale, what international perspective does this sustainability topic allows? I mean, in general, for the general population.
I think what we do is the international perspective just in place. I mean, think globally, act locally. Yes, this is the point of view. So and it was said a long time ago. So we just do the acts. It's not our invention to do. But we try to applicate some know-hows, and together it gives something.
That's very good. So thank you, Viktória, for your answers. Ádám, you are still be here, and I'm very interested about what is your profession here at the ELTE. What is your job? Because I've read many things about the Charm-U, the Torch, and other kind of projects. But tell me, explain it further.
Sure, thank you for this question, Tamás. So basically I'm a former student of ELTE, so I started my studies here. I started learning earth sciences just generally, and then I specialized to geophysics and then hydrogeology. So these are very exotic terms, I know. But now my main research focuses on groundwater, quite simply speaking, and all the related things, issues like the geothermal energy as well. And here in Budapest, we are like sitting on a hot pot, I would say, because here we do have a lot of thermal springs, thermal spas. So here, locally, geothermal energy is very important. So basically that's what I'm doing. I'm lecturing at ELTE, at this university, basically on these topics. So groundwater flow, drinking water issues related to groundwater, and then the energy resources which are stored underground, so mainly the geothermal energy, but also some related mineral resources which were formed by the flowing groundwater, for instance. But at the same time, ecological studies are also related to our field, because, everything, like the plants, animals, need water. And usually during especially drought, we have the only source, which is groundwater.
It's a very, very huge and impressive topics, but tell me about the Charm EU project. What is it and what do you do in that project?
Charm EU is basically a European University Alliance, and here we have 5 core universities. These 5 universities created the core of Charm EU: ELTE, of course, University of Utrecht in the Netherlands, University of Montpellier in France, University of Barcelona in Spain, and Trinity College Dublin in Ireland. But this was the core group, I would say, for Charm EU. But from the next year, we have an extension, and we will have 3 more partners, 2 German universities and 1 from Finland. And that's basically our university alliance, 8 universities working together, creating, the future of universities. Because we are basically pioneering new structure of higher education. That's our mission, to somehow transform higher education into a sustainable and into more interesting and interactive curriculum at the same time.
That's very interesting. And I was really curious on sorry.
No problem.
That's very, very impressive, union of forces among really amazing universities. And I was very intrigued what CHARM stands for.
Yes, that's a very good question, and we really like to explain, because charm, it's a catchy term, right? But it has a meaning. So challenge-driven, accessible, research-based, mobile, and EU stands for European University. So basically these terms can pretty nicely describe the core concepts of Charm EU. So challenge-driven, we are working on real-life global sustainability issues with the students, of course involving stakeholders, even, from companies, from NGOs, non-governmental organizations, or government as well. So it's basically the core concept to involve the society, because we are working on societal challenges. A stands for accessible, because, students with any kind of bachelor can apply and they can be accepted. So it's accessible for anyone. And at the same time, we have inclusion, which is a core concept of Charm EU. So basically it's for the students, it's for the staff, but we are very inclusive. That's our, as I said, a core concept, a core value. And then R for research-based, because of course the students do some sort of research. And M stands for mobile, because mobility is also a key element of Charm EU, because the students do semester-long mobilities, and at the same time we can offer some shorter-term mobilities to do some sort of field work, to meet the peers, to meet the society, or meet other actors, other stakeholders at other places. So I think this can be briefly the core of Charm EU.
So Adam, you're also a lecturer in the study program of Charm EU Masters in Global Challenges for Sustainability. What is your job, and how is able to join to connecting the Charm EU to sustainability?
Yes, so as the name of the program itself, Global Challenges for Sustainability, so of course the students are working on sustainability issues, right? And we have a module in the first semester called Sustainability. So of course that's one really evident part for the sustainability, and the students have other two modules during the first semester. The other one is on social innovation, so it's also about involving the society but creating something new. And the third module is transdisciplinarity, because transdisciplinarity, it's a tricky term. You need to understand this term as like, you are not focusing on disciplines. You are focusing on a subject, on a topic, and you integrate all the disciplines which are required to understand that topic. But at the same time, transdisciplinarity involves the society, right? The stakeholders. So you are working for someone, right? So someone has an issue, and basically you integrate all the knowledge which is required to solve that issue. So these are the three modules for the first semester, and the students can choose a track. That's what we call food, water, and life and health. And I'm coordinating water during semester 2 because, as I said, my background is on groundwater, so I'm coordinating that semester. So I'm organizing the lectures, the content, and also I'm responsible for the assessment and all the related things, questions from the student side. So it's like a manager, I would say.
And according to the program that you mentioned, have different courses. Is it possible, or is there any course that any student, for example, from the psychology department, take as an elective or optional course, or it's just for the people doing this program?
Yeah, here what we need to understand is the structure, because here, instead of having courses, we have modules. And one module is 10 ECTS, 10 credits, right? So it's a huge package, I would say. Of course, I think as a student of ELTE, you can attend any of the sessions, because we do have a schedule for these sessions, of course. And I think you can simply attend one of these sessions. That's my impression. So if we are, inclusive and accessible, students should be able to attend any of our learning activities.
That's very good, actually. Another question that I have is that since the program works with innovative elements, can you describe these elements in more details?
Yeah, so I think we have one very innovative solution, I would say. That's the hybrid classroom. Because, the teaching is running at 5 universities, at 5 places, but still the students are connected. So we use the so-called hybrid classrooms where the students are physically together. For instance, here 10 students at ELTE, but there are 10 other students at other locations. But at the same time, they are still connected via screens, So basically it's like a mixture. That's why it's called hybrid, because part of the group and part of the learning is done physically at the spot, but the other parts are done, virtually. So organizing these things, I think that was a huge challenge, but that's an innovation of this master's program. And another, I would say, prominent innovation is that the teaching style. So it's not like, the passive teaching, what we are doing mostly at ELTE. It's fully about the interactive teaching. So it's the flipped classroom approach, right? When the students are prepared for the course, they do some sort of short lectures or short introductions, and basically the topic is discussed during the sessions and not taught, because you need to be prepared for the sessions, right? And we do use boards canvas or Miro board, concept board for collaborative work, right? So you can imagine like a platform where you can collect all of your ideas. So during a discussion, any student can leave like a post-it, like a virtual post-it on that board. And later on, of course, you can collate all those ideas. And I think these tools are very good to enhance the group work, because the students are working in small groups. And these collaborative tools can help them, can facilitate their learning. And at the same time, we also use Moodle, right? So everything is stored on Moodle. And we use a new way of assessment, which is called programmatic assessment, which can be seen as sort of, continuous assessment. But here there are no grades, no points, no percentages, nothing. Only written feedback, which is provided to the students. And we have several indicators which are assessed, like digital skills, communication, sustainability. And the students should reach a certain level during the master's program. And we basically do, grading in terms of the levels. So no numbers at all. And the feedback, the written feedback, is very important, because the students can use that feedback in order to improve. And that's basically the core concept, to be able to improve gradually based on the written comments.
That also sounds very good. And shortly, what are your experiences with this whole program? You mentioned many, many interesting and innovative things. So what are your experiences? Is it working?
Yes, that's what I wanted to say. So, now we have the second edition, which is running. So we do have students who applied for this master's program and who are working. Some students are doing field work in exotic places like South Africa or in Senegal, because they are working on some challenges locally in those countries. And we do have, I would say, a huge interest, because we received so many applications for this master's program. So I would say it's working, definitely, and it's growing.
Could you tell us more about the Torch project? What is it, or what is it for, and what are the achievements during this project?
Yeah, the Torch project is like a sister of Charm EU, because we have the same partners involved in Torch, like in Charm EU. But here, instead of focusing on educational innovation, the focus is on research. So Torch is basically the research component of this alliance. And Torch stands for Transforming Open, Responsible Science Through Charm. That's the abbreviation. And here in Torch, now we are working on research proposals which can be submitted, for instance, to the European Commission. And related to that, we identified 3 key SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals: SDG 3, Good Health and Well-being; SDG 10, Reduced Inequalities; and SDG 13, Climate Action. And now we are working on these SDGs, and we are working on proposals. I mean, the 5 universities are working together, compiling a research proposal which can be done later if it will be accepted by the European Commission. So, as I said, Charm EU is also about research. Here is the connection point, because we can connect research and education if we have these 2 components.
In which role do you participate in this project?
In Torch, I'm participating in the proposal related to climate action. So we identified, again, water as a key component of climate action. So that's why I'm involved. Now we are preparing 2 proposals, basically. One is focusing on hydroclimatic extremes, so like droughts and floods. How can we manage those things? So of course it has a relation to climate action, but as these are also related to water, of course we can combine these two fields. So one proposal is focusing on this aspect, and another one is focusing on a hot topic, I would say, which is the nature-based solution. Because, you know, as Viktória said previously, sometimes we should go back in time, right? And that's what we can do using nature-based solution, just to see how the nature works and learn from the nature and do those things, right? So we are not reinventing the wheel, but we are copying the nature. And that's again like a key word in the current research trend, I would say.
I think that's a very good idea, to copying the nature and not reinventing the wheel, of course. Let me guess, your research in the Torch is about water and hydrogeology and stuff like that.
Yes, exactly.
And can you tell about shortly about this more? Is there some kind of special field you have, or how it's connected? If, for example, if you just you and me just sitting down for a coffee and ask you this question, what would be your answer?
Yeah, maybe we would need 2 coffees to properly explain these things, right? Because this topic is a huge one, to be honest. But yeah, so of course, groundwater cannot be seen. It's invisible, right? Can you see it? No, I don't think so. But still, it's a very huge portion of our drinking water resources. So we need to consider the hidden part of our resources. So basically, we need to focus and we need to be more conscious about the groundwater, how it moves, what are the effects of climate change to the groundwater reserves, right? Because the fresh water, most of the freshwater resources are underground, right? A huge part is frozen, so it's inaccessible, but the rest is underground. So that's why we need to focus on groundwater as the main source of drinking water for the future. And of course, if we don't have rainfall, we don't have replenishment for the groundwater. So that's how you can see the interrelation between climate change and groundwater resources.
Yes, I can see it's all these things are connected to each other.
Your water research field, it sounds very vital, of course, and important. And I have a question. Is there any other initiative on how this Charm EU Alliance contributes to sustainability?
Yes, we do have a project called UniEco, which is basically the same cohort of universities, but instead of educating the students, here the focus is on all the university citizens. So I mean the lecturers, the educational staff, the students, and anyone, even including the administrative staff. So basically we try to transform our knowledge to their level. What can they do in their daily life? And in that project, Viktória is also involved, and she is basically a leader of that project. So I think, Viktória, you can tell a few words about that project.
Thank you. So UniEco was a project between 2019-2022, and we hope that it will be continued next year. So it was all about raising awareness among university citizens. So students, lecturers, non-educational workers at the university. First, a state of art was done for the 5 universities. So it's analyzed where we are in this question at the 5 universities. And as a part, we have done e-learning sessions about 5 topics. And also green challenges were done. It means every university has done 10 green challenges, so 10 projects, in fact, that were done. And it was a kind of idea collecting or collection of ideas from students and from lecturers or non-educational workers of the university.
Wow, this program sounds very great. So if somebody wants to join to the CHARMU or the Torch or the UniEco as a simple ELTE student or an international student, how can they do that?
For UniEco, it's closed for the moment, but
if you win again, what will happen there then?
Then green challenges will be done, and a huge announcement will be done, so they can join, and they are very welcome to join, because more ideas can develop more the university sustainability system. Regarding
CHARMU, I would encourage anyone to apply for this master's program, not because I'm involved, but because I would say it's fantastic, to be honest, because you are working on real challenges. It's not, doing something theoretical. It's helpful for someone, right? And basically in developing countries where they are lacking of, for instance, resources or knowledge or whatever. So basically we can help the society in order to tackle these sustainability issues. And at the same time, I think mostly PhD students can connect to the teaching, right? And also to the Torch project in terms of researching. Because international students on master's level, I think there is no other option, right? So you can be an official student of CHARMU attending this master's program, but if you are at the PhD level, you can be part either of the teaching or the research.
So to close the session, if you had to sum up in a single thought, what do you think we can do for our environment as university students or citizens, as responsible adults, what would it be? Join the sustainability working groups. Fantastic. They are absolutely welcome. And the more volunteers we receive is better.
I think one thing which is crucial is raising awareness and creating discourse, right? So I think that's very important. Like here, we are discussing sustainability issues, and that's the first step, right? Raising awareness, show what to do, what can you do in order to make the university and even your life more sustainable, and then we can have the further steps, as Viktória mentioned.
Thank you for your attention, and thank you to Viktória Mudra and Ádám Tóth for being with us.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. ELTE Walk. Everything you need to know about ELTE.